Trust me when I say you wouldn't want to be in Diddy's shoes right now. He's been served nothing but misery for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the past couple years, jumping from one lawsuit to the next. Now it looks like all hell is about to break loose as his crimes come back to haunt him, and he's forced to pay a painful price for his actions. He may face some real jail time if his lawyers don't find a way to get these lawsuits dropped. Keep watching till the end of this video to see Diddy freaking out as 17-year-old confirms trafficking. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to the #1 celebrity jeweler, the Ice Champ. The Ice Champ is doing a special deal for the next 24 hours on diamond watches, chains, and more. Follow at the Ice Champ on Instagram now.
Diddy allegedly drugs and a 17-year-old. In a recent episode of Diddy's Dark Days, another woman has accused him and 2 of his associates of sexual abuse in a lawsuit filed Wednesday that is marked with a trigger warning. The 14-page complaint was filed in the Southern District of New York by Jane Doe against Diddy, former Bad Boy president Harve Pierre, and an unnamed man, with the plaintiff requesting a jury trial. This is the 4th known accusation since singer Cassie, Diddy's ex, claimed he physically and sexually abused her in a suit filed on November 16th but settled the following day. Jane Doe, in the complaint filed Wednesday, said that Diddy, Pierre, and the other man gang and trafficked her back in 2003 when she was a 17-year-old high school junior. At the time, Diddy was 34 years old, twice the age of Jane Doe. Jane Doe claimed that Pierre, who is also a singer, was accompanied by the unnamed man and others as he approached her and her friends at a lounge in Detroit. According to the complaint, Pierre told the teenager that Diddy would love to meet her and encouraged her to fly with him on a private jet to New York City to do so. While they were still at the lounge, Pierre took Doe to the restroom where he forced a large amount of cocaine upon her and then compelled her to have oral sex with him. Afterward, she was made to accompany Pierre and 2 others on a flight to Diddy's recording studio in New York City. She also claimed that while on the private jet, Diddy, Pierre, and the unnamed man gave her copious amounts of drugs and alcohol, which caused her to lose consciousness. As the night wore on, the 17-year-old Miss Doe became more and more inebriated, eventually to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having sex with anyone, much less someone twice her age, the statement read. Jane Doe described how Diddy continuously her in the bathroom as she kept phasing in and out of consciousness due to the amount of drugs in her system. To make things worse, Pierre walked into the bathroom and told Diddy he wanted his turn with her. As Diddy walked out, Pierre proceeded to have oral sex with her to the point where she had difficulty breathing. She also claimed that she was escorted out of the building and she was unable to use her legs after the incident. As a result of being by Mr. Combs, Mr. Pierre, and the 3rd assailant, Miss Doe suffered significant emotional distress and feelings of shame that have plagued her life and personal relationships for 20 years, the lawsuit read. Apparently, Jane Doe was inspired to come forward by Cassie's lawsuit and the lawsuits of other women who claimed Diddy assaulted them sexually. Diddy's ex files assault lawsuit. On November 16, 2023, Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit in federal district court in Manhattan that shook the music industry. In it, she accused Diddy of physically abusing her throughout their 10-year relationship. Ventura and Diddy met in 2005 when she was 19 years old. The following year, Cassie signed to Diddy's record label Bad Boy Records, where she released her debut self-titled album. According to documents obtained from the court, Cassie said that Diddy began exhibiting signs of control and abuse following the release of her album. He was overly possessive and monitored every single decision she made, making her feel like a prisoner or his slave. She claimed that Diddy aggressively urged her to ingest heavy amounts of drugs and was frequently violent throughout their relationship until it ended in 2018. The lengthy court lawsuit also provided egregious and gruesome evidence of several incidents in which Diddy allegedly beat and raped the singer. Cassie also stated that after instances of violence, Diddy would often hide her in expensive hotels for days at a time to let her bruises heal as a means of covering up the attacks. Like a 2009 encounter in which he allegedly stomped on her face, then forced her to hole up in a hotel room for a week. Cassie also mentioned that Diddy would often force her to partake in encounters with workers that he referred to as freak-offs or FOs, and that the encounters always included marijuana and alcohol, which she was never a fan of. After years in silence and darkness, Cassie said in a statement through her lawyer, "I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships." Diddy's lawyer, Ben Brafman, made a statement denying the allegations, which he termed offensive and outrageous. He claimed that Cassie was simply trying to extort money from Diddy since she was no longer with him. He emphasized the fact that it wasn't the first time she had tried to extort money from Diddy. In response to Diddy's lawyer, Cassie's attorney, Douglas Wigdor, said Combs offered Ms. Ventura 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of this lawsuit. She rejected his efforts and decided to give a voice to all women who suffer in silence. Ms. Ventura should be applauded for her bravery. A day after Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy, the former couple reportedly settled the case for an undisclosed amount. "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control," Cassie said in an official statement following the settlement. Brafman also confirmed that a settlement was reached, but clarified in an additional statement that it was not an admission of wrongdoing. About a week after Cassie filed the lawsuit against her ex-partner Diddy, a man who used to lead Diddy's security operation came forward with a cryptic message on Instagram. Roger Bonds, who worked with Diddy a decade ago, shared several images of himself in public with the couple. The accompanying caption read, "I'm willing to tell the truth because for so many years I was quiet." In another Instagram post, Bonds shared a screenshot of Cassie's lawsuit. Bonds was named in the singer's lawsuit, alleging he intervened during a 2009 incident in which Diddy allegedly attacked her in Los Angeles. Not only did Bonds back Cassie's side of the story, he also suggested he saved many other women from being abused by Diddy. Dark and lengthy sexual assault lawsuits against Diddy. On November 23, 2023, Diddy was hit with another lawsuit just after he had sorted out the lawsuit involving his ex-girlfriend. This one came from a woman accusing him of sexually assaulting her while she was a student at Syracuse University in 1991. Allegedly, Diddy and the woman had eaten at a Harlem restaurant before heading to a studio that was owned by Diddy. He then escorted her to another location before allegedly drugging and assaulting her. The unidentified victim also claimed that Diddy filmed the assault and shared it with other men. The accuser emphasized that she had been a victim of revenge. On November 24, 2023, a third